Welcome back. This is Paresh. It's January 3, 2025, and welcome back to App of the Week number 3. The weather outside is pretty interesting. I'll just show you. Yeah, it's a big snowstorm here in Canada, where I live. But anyway, we're gonna keep building, and as I said yesterday, we're gonna scout on Upwork or maybe some other platforms to find a good, worthy solution to build this website or this application about, which can solve real problems. So let's see what we can find today, and then we're gonna build it within a few hours, or at least by the end of the day. Alright guys, so looking at Upwork, I found this job about creating X Twitter AI agent that can post and reply to tweets as well. So it's for an financing accounting company. They want to build an agent that can post tweets, reply to tweets, in the tweets they are mentioned in, or just some random tweets as well. So in short, like an AI agent that kind of handles their Twitter account. So they say they don't have access to API or anything, all that shit. So I'm interested in building that, and they also mentioned that the AI agent will have to speak a certain way as well, so they want it to have personality as well. I'm thinking of their own accounts that they've been using. They want to kind of copy that style, keep it going so it sounds natural, and it doesn't sound generic and like AI like, right? So yeah, and that's perfectly acceptable. So we're gonna try to build this today. I'm still thinking if we should use Next.js framework, or we should go with a simple Gradio Streamlit app, or we can approach this the other way as well. We can use make.com or N8 and automations to create this agent. So there's a bunch of different ways. I think the easiest would be make.com or N8N, but I'm not sure if we can get that level of customization in those, that we can get into our coded projects that we can build by writing our own code. So I'm thinking about what to do here. I'm gonna quickly talk to Claude about this project as to what's the best way in its opinion, and what are the pros and cons of these. So then I'll have a better idea. Alright guys, so after having some conversation with Claude 3.5 Sonnet as well, it kind of agreed with my point of view, which is to kind of build it in Python initially, build the backend in Python, and then build like a Streamlit or Gradio UI on top of it, because we don't necessarily need Next.js full-blown website, right, with authentication and all that. It's a small company that's going to be building it, and they probably will use it locally or just on their own servers. It doesn't need to be even online, I think. So I think that's the way to go. And more so, this is just a prototype, right? If they're building a full-blown application that should be built to scale, maybe we can transfer it to a Next.js framework as well. But for this video, we're going to build it using Python backend and Gradio or Streamlit UI. So what I will do now is, just keep this conversation going with Claude, and I would create a product requirement document that we can use to code this application. So, I'll have a conversation until I'm satisfied with that product requirement document, and then we will go ahead and start our product in Cursor IDE. Alright guys, so I am in the middle of creating the product requirement document. What I'm doing is, for examples, the style we're going to copy is, I'm just using a random account on Twitter, a finance and accounting account on Twitter that posts, and we're going to create a data set from their tweets, try to copy their style for this project. So I'm just giving it some screenshots, and we're going to create a data set out of those with the help of Claude. So LLMs, either Claude or ChatGPT, make this process really easy. So if you want to create your own quick data set for your projects, I recommend doing this as well. I'll be back once we have the dataset. Alright guys, so what I did was I created a folder called X poster instructions, which is going to contain our product requirement document as well as these example tweets. So we created a JSON file right here with the help of Claude with some example tweets that we're going to copy the style from, and I pasted them into my project folder as well. So I created a JSON file. I posted all these tweets in the JSON format here, and now we're going to paste our product requirement document here as well, and then we will begin the project. So let's create that with the Claude as well. Now that it knows what our reference file looks like, I will just ask it to create a product requirement document to build that workflow that we talked about on top of this file. So let's do that. Alright guys, so our final product requirement document is complete. I have gone through it myself and made some changes. Again, talking to Claude and just telling it what I need to change. So some of the things we needed to add was a reply mechanism where this agent can reply to tweets as well, wherever it's mentioned, or just random tweets. And yeah, and some of the other things was just include that we had the local file made, and we're going to be taking the example tweets from a local file. So we included that in there as well, and then created a final product requirement document. So it's very good practice to actually go through it, read it through, understand that how your product is working, and then go ahead with the build. Alright guys, one thing I did in the end was I added this project structure in the product requirement documents. It is very important, I think, to build projects smoothly, so your development process goes smoothly. So you should again ask Claude, build a project structure that can implement this project smoothly during the development process, and it has clean code, and implements all the best software development practices to implement this project optimally. That's what I did, and I got this project structure. We might have to change it a little bit during development, but as long as we have something to go off of, that's very good. So now we have our product requirement document complete, and this took a long time. I actually spent even more time on this during much more complex projects, because building this is the key to having your development process go smoothly. So you want to include user stories as well, how the user will interact with it and what you want it to happen in real good detail. So our agents, our Cursor AI agent that's going to help us develop this app, will have a fully comprehensive understanding of the functionality you want to develop. So, but for this project, we're going to build within the next couple of hours, hopefully. We're going to say this is pretty good for this. The PRD is pretty good for this. So let's see how it works. So now we have the PRD saved. Now I'm going to open on Cursor, Control L. We're going to open our composer, and we already have okay, so this has some previous lines of code, so we're just going to close this. Okay, there we go, composer, and we want a new, yeah. So now I have tagged the instructions file with it, which contains our PRD, the product requirement document, and we're going to start building. So we're going to ask it, let's build the project according to the instructions in the file, and let's start implementing the feature 1.1. After that, I will just copy and paste from our product requirement document as well, just so. Okay, so feature 1.1 is, I think has it separated them in features, or so it has kind of used phases in there, phase 1 foundation and phase 2 OpenAI and like that. So we chose phase 1 for the first step, and then we're gonna submit. And I think I made a mistake. I'm not sure if I selected the agent, so I'm sorry. I will just I will do this again. So I'm gonna copy that command. I'm gonna open a new composer, and we're gonna select our agent, which was selected. So let's do that, so that you have the Cursor AI agent working on it, which can fix errors and do a lot more during the build process than having to back and forth, with the during the development with the tool. So agent can work right here, so it can run commands in the terminal as well, like you see here. So it found error, so it's trying to make a directory, created the directory right here. Okay, now it's creating a requirements file for the dependencies we'll need to use during the build right here. Now it's creating our main agent.py file inside the src folder. Yes. So we're gonna let it run. There might be some errors that we might have to kind of oversee it, how it's handling with them, and if something changes, we will talk to it in the next step. Alright guys, so this agent ran through with all the steps, and now it's saying it has created the project structure, the core files, and now we need to test the agent. It has created tests as well in there. What we need to do is create a .env file with all our API keys for OpenAI and the Tutor API, and install the requirements and then run the tests. So we're going to do that now. So first accept all the changes, and then we're going to create the file and install the requirements, and we will be back to test it. Alright, so only issue I ran into, or just not issue, just I didn't know, was for using the X or Twitter's API, you need like 7 different kind of keys. So all these, key and secret, this token and secret, the client ID and secret, and then the bearer token as well. Here you can know how to get them. It's pretty easy. They're all within one place within the developers portal once you sign up for an account, and you can see them pretty easily over there. But yeah, I never used so many tokens to use just one platform, but anyway. So that's just for anyone developing, anyone running into troubles. You need all those to kind of use the functionality that I am going to here. So you can find all those tokens in your developers portal. Alright guys, so the first phase has been implemented. As you can see, we also wrote test scripts to test this feature as we are building them, and that's the whole point of writing the product requirement document. So we test each feature as we are building it, and as you can see, we ran into some trouble, and the agent keeps on running these tests on its own in its own console because it has a dedicated terminal now, and it gets the error, it fixes it within the code, it runs the test again until they are passed. So we know the feature we implemented is working, and then we can move on to the phase 2, which is implementing the OpenAI's inference code. So this is a very good practice to always implement tests after each implementation, to keep on testing it. So it doesn't happen that in the end, when you build the whole thing and you start testing it and everything breaks. So it's a very good practice, and you should always incorporate that into your own builds whenever you're building using an AI agent like Cursor, Bolt, or Windsurf, whichever one. But the product requirement document and testing at step by step is very important. And once again, we implemented the phase 2, and we implemented the OpenAI feature into our code, and we ran the test. So you can see it failed right here. And the good thing is that agent can look at it itself. We don't have to run the test manually in the terminal. It looks at the error, looks at the code base, diagnoses it itself, and then we move ahead with the try to fix it until it is fixed, until our tests pass. Then we know phase 2 has been implemented, and then we move on to the next phase. So that is the way to develop software, and that's the best practice. It wouldn't cause you to get caught up in loops and just, give up altogether. So I highly recommend to implement this kind of way of developing software if you're new to this. Alright guys, so far I'm really struggling. I made some mistakes during the development and it's not working as well as intended. We are running into a lot of errors, but I'm still planning to keep going, keep building until we figure it out. The main issue was, again, I did not decide in the starting the whole flow to the very basic level, to the very nuanced level. That's what you have to do when you're developing these complex workflows. But let's see if we can develop it and get it to work as intended. Alright guys, so we have finally finished our agent app. So here I will show you the UI right now. So it's pretty basic for now. So we can take in a topic. It again takes in a style, length you want it to be, and you can select these options if you want hashtags included, if you want images included. And what it will essentially do then is in the back end it kind of goes through this chain where it goes to an agent that has access to the style of the previous tweets from the account we want to copy the style and personality from, and it turns that topic into the style or the style of tweet that we wanted to copy, and then it generates a tweet in that style according to all these kind of preferences we select. So let me see. So let me include January 4th, just a random date, right? And generate, and this is going to run through the process. It's going to give us this tweet here, which is very good at copying the style we kind of gave it for reference from the guy, the financing and investing guy. It's doing a very good job, and we can post it right now, or we can schedule it for later. So here you can choose a date and time. I'm still implementing this, and you can do this for multiple tweets. You can generate them for multiple topics, schedule them for later, and it will post them as those time and date hits. So that's basic development completed for this Twitter agent. It took me around half a day to do this. I ran into issues with implementing the Twitter API, but we finally figured it out. And we're going to develop it into a much polished version, and we're going to share it with you guys as well. So I will just show you the final version that I made. I polished the UI a little bit, added the schedule functionality, and I completed this within the same day as well. So just wanted to show the final product quickly. So again, here you can enter your topic, you can select the tone, the style, the length, include emojis or include hashtags. You can check mark those or not, and then you can generate, and it will generate it in that style. Now I'm going to add a functionality to generate maybe 3 choices that we can choose from. And over here you have your post button that will post this tweet. Over here you have your schedule functionality, which will schedule this for a later time and date. So you can schedule it for any time, schedule, and tweet schedule. And over here you have a list of the scheduled tweets you have for later dates, so they can automatically be posted at a later date and time. So this will really help somebody to manage their social media, to manage the Twitter account very easily. And yeah, so that's just wanted to show a quick final version. But and we can also add automatic, totally automatic capabilities here if the person doesn't even want to do the manual work of writing the topic. It can be just scheduled to generate tweets every day for different topics, or maybe even trending topics. Do Google searches, search the trending topics, and then create tweets in the style, and then post them at a specific time, right? The popular times for posting a tweet, like 10 a.m., 12 p.m., or 3 p.m. And yeah, so there's a lot of possibilities, which I will share with you the final version. But for now, we have completed the MVP build, and I'm very happy. So app of the day, app of the week number 3 is complete as well. So yeah, if you learned something, feel free to subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you want to add some more capabilities that can really improve this agent and take it to a much higher level as well. But yeah, thank you for joining, and keep building. And feel free to hit me up on my Calendly link if you want to collaborate on a project and build something together. Thank you for watching.